Welcome back to JB Sports. I'm your host, John the Burden here, and today is Wednesday, so you know it's all about the wrestling Wednesdays. So, first off, we just gotta start going straight into it just because there's some things I want to talk about. Raw, The Miz, he's alive. The Miz was not hurt, tortured, anything by the Wyatt Six. He was just talked to. So, another podcast. But yeah, he was just talked to. He showed up on Raw alive. I don't really think that the Final Testament was too happy to see him. I'm gonna be honest. I think that Karrion Kross really wanted him gone. Honestly, he did not seem too pleased, especially when the Miz said he didn't want any part to do with it. You know, he said he wanted to be gone, all that, and basically he was brought out to the ring by Karrion Kross's crew. His eye was bloodied up by the end of it, but the Wyatt Six come out, and you thought they're gonna put belt to butt, but they got packed up. I'm gonna be honest. The Final Testament packed up the Wyatt Six because the Miz, it was a ruse the whole time. They set it up, steel chair to the back a few times, and it's the first time you've seen the Wyatt Six actually get like packed up. Like hacked up. They were all on the ground. The one thing is Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, whatever you want to call him, I'll call him Bo. He was laughing at the end, which was hilarious. I mean, of course, like it's he's laughing, haha, but he was actually just laughing at the end of it, kind of creeping Karrion Kross out, which is hard to do. Karrion Kross was giving the look like, what's wrong with you? That's the look he was giving to Bo Dallas. So this is, in my opinion, gonna head to a War Games match. You got 5 of them, 4 against 4. That's probably gonna be the match instead of 5v5 because the Bloodline's gonna be 5v5, which I got a whole theory there. But basically, 4v4 Final Testament versus the Wyatt Six, or you can add someone. I don't think they will, and I don't think they'll add the female in there just because it wouldn't really work well at all. I don't know if it could work. So we're gonna say 4v4 there unless they add someone because you never know if like Miz can scrounge up someone to help him. You never know what's gonna happen in the end. So back to Raw though. Damage Control, they reunite with Dakota Kai. They go against Pure Fusion Collective and they pick up the win. Honestly, I do like Damage Control a lot. I really do like the wrestlers in there. Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Asuka when she's healthy. I think they are better with them and not Bailey just because nothing's wrong with Bailey. I like Bailey, but I just feel like the group has a different like pedigree to them without Bailey. I think they have more like a we're gonna beat you up bad type of role. So we'll see what happens going on forward with them because Asuka still needs to come back. Dakota Kai just got back and hopefully she doesn't get hurt again or sad again. So we'll see what happens there, but it looks like it's a good start for them again. Next, Kofi Kingston versus Pete Dunne. Of course, Pete Dunne beats Kofi, and this little turn from Kofi and Woods is going to come soon. Honestly, I've been hearing a lot of people say that they think Kofi's going to turn. Someone in my comments said Kofi was going to be the one to turn, which wouldn't be terrible, but the problem is I really want to see Xavier as a heel and not Kofi. So I would really prefer if Woods turned instead of Kofi, but at the end of the day, no matter who breaks up, it's gonna be a really good storyline between the two, just because there's so much that can come out of it because all the storyline, the years, how much they put in together, how many titles they've won. So it's gonna be interesting no matter what happens. I do think Xavier is going to turn on him on their anniversary. I think Kofi's gonna be like, I know you've been acting off, but we're a family. Let's celebrate. And then that's when Woods finally takes control of his own destiny, which could very much happen. But I don't know if it's gonna be him or Woods, because I mean him or Kofi, because it's really been a lot of people thinking that Kofi might turn. So we'll see what happens there. Bronson Reed basically just calls out Seth Rollins again. Seth wants the match. Those two are going to absolutely like murder each other. I swear each week they do something worse to each other. So We're gonna see if Bronson Reed can hold up with Seth. Maybe Seth go 2-0. But speaking of Seth, Seth was a very, very important gentleman that night on Raw. He was talked to by the OG Bloodline and the Timu Bloodline. First the OG Bloodline, Sami Zayn asking Seth for help. He's like, please. Seth said, no, I don't like Roman. You know that. He's like, he said something like, I love Roman, but I don't like him. I think he said that to Sammy, or he said that to Solo, one of the two. But then he like declined Sammy's like he said basically the next time I see him, I'm gonna fight him. And then when Solo shows up and he goes to talk to Seth, he's like, hey, you don't like Roman. I don't like Roman. We have something mutually beneficial here if you join us. And Seth's like, yeah, I don't like Roman. The next time I see him in the ring, I want to stomp his head into the ground. And Solo's like, oh, yeah, I like that. Puts his hand up. But then he said, but I would never team with a wannabe Roman Reigns, and leaves. Solo's got that look on his face, like a mad look. Jacob in the back, I love you, Solo. He puts his hands down because he's mad because he disrespected hhis king, Solo Sikoa. So he's mad about that. The whole thing is getting a little out of hand for Seth, but he's being dragged into the storyline. I don't know if it's just to bring some more light onto it and make it look like they really need people and they're both trying to get the same people, or Seth will eventually go back and reunite with Roman, which Roman said he will never forgive Seth for what happened on the day Seth broke up the Shield, the chair to the back, which Roman finally got his payback. He got his get back on Cody when he put the steel the back with that chair shot. So that inevitably lost in the match. A lot of people have seen Seth was literally, he said he'd be Cody's Shield. He was. He took the chair to the back, which led to Cody winning. Storytelling at its finest, long-term storytelling, like long-term. But people have already talked about it, so we'll stay away from that. So I don't know if maybe Roman, after getting that out and hitting Seth, will maybe forgive him a little more and maybe try to talk to him himself. Or, maybe one day soon they're gonna have a match to like be like, okay, I want to beat you, let's get this out, and then maybe we can talk about it. Something like that. I could see Seth being involved in the story somehow, but he's in his own storyline with Bronson Reed, so you gotta let that finish before you interject him into this new one. Please let that finish because he should be beating Big Bronson Reed 2 times in a row, in my opinion. Just because I love Seth, so it's kind of like hard to make me go against him at all. But if he's got to put over him once or twice, like once, I'm okay with it. But he should win the series 2-1. Next, Damian Priest versus Ludwig Kaiser. You knew Damian Priest was gonna win, but I'm gonna be honest, Ludwig didn't do too terrible. He held up his own pretty well. I think that Ludwig will eventually be a mid-card title holder. Not right now because he's under the likes of Gunther. But one day he could be an okay mid-card title holder, honestly, in my opinion. So, not a terrible match. Honestly, had some good moments, but you knew Damian Priest was picking up the win before they go into War Games. So, War Games. Next, Women's Tag Team Championship match. Liv Raquel versus Tony. I almost said Tony Storm, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. I was thinking about this Thunder, the Lightning part, whatever, and Storm, whatever. You get my drift. But they they retained their tag team titles. There was jump-ins from everyone. Nia, Tiffany were there. I believe maybe. All I know is a lot of people came out, and it ended up with Bianca and Cargill retaining, which I said this many times. I don't really care for the tag team titles, but something else happened that I will talk about that I've been waiting for a lot of time. Probably I've been talking about it way too many times. I probably talked about it at least like an hour's worth on this channel, so we'll get to it. Not probably an hour's worth, but like at least a half hour. But we'll get into that in a minute. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair retain. Good for them. We don't need the tag team titles, but it's a way to keep them together and not keep them going against each other until WrestleMania, because that is going to be a great feud, and everybody knows that. So, what I was about to go into on SmackDown, Nick Aldis is in a room. It's recorded. He's doing it live. He's got a table with what it looks like is a title on it. He pulls off the rag, whatever the thing on top of it, towel, whatever you want to call it, and he reveals the Women's United States Championship. Yes! Thank the Lord they finally did it. They finally put a mid-card title on the women's division. Thank the Lord. They've been needing this for so long. You already have people saying they're going to be the first one. Chelsea Green said she will be the first Women's United States Championship holder. Great. Go for it. I'd love for Chelsea to have that. But honestly, right now, I'm just so happy they made it a thing. One of my good friends said that it would have been cool if they replaced the eagle with the Statue of Liberty. That would have been really cool. Great call out by him. But literally, I'm just so happy there's a women's mid card title to help that little spot where women aren't ready to be world champs yet, but they need something to get them there. This mid card title is perfect. You got people like Leo Valkyria. You got people like Dakota Kai, Chelsea Green, Meechin. You have other people. So many people who could get that. Jade Cargo. She would be a perfect candidate for that first one. If they wanted to do that, they could pull a double champ for the women's division. I don't think it would be too bad. But it doesn't matter. There's so many people who can get it that it's such a good idea that they should do it on the other brand as well. Take them tag team titles, take them and throw them in the garbage like Nikki Cross did with a 24/7 championship belt. Well, she missed the garbage, but we don't talk about it. That is the whole legacy of the 24/7 championship belt that I don't want to talk about because it was stupid. It was very, very stupid. Bad hardcore callback. Do it on the Raw side. Bring the Women's Intercontinental Championship not back, make it a thing. So that side can have it too. You can spread out the women's division more, make it even better on both sides. Literally, so many people can get it. I know I said Io Sky for that one, but if you put it on Raw, then she can stay on Raw. And I think honestly, Netflix would love to have that because they want the demands of CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes on one brand. So why not put a women's division mid card title on that side too? It would be great. Abolish those tag team championships. They're not doing much. Jade, instead of having the tag team championship role, she can get the women's United States Championship belt. And Bianca Belair can be her mentor there, and she can teach her how to be a singles champion. Like, she needs teaching, but not really. You know what I mean. The protege and that stuff. And that can be the storyline leading to WrestleMania, where maybe Bianca challenges it for, or Jade loses that, gets a world championship, and then that's the feud. She's like, I've been helping you so much. You haven't done anything for me. That happens. Protege, Matt, like, you know what I mean. That normal storyline. They break up, and Jade Cargill wins at WrestleMania. That wouldn't be a bad storyline to me. I don't know about you, but it's just so many opportunities have arise now that the women's division has a mid card title. It's amazing. Honestly, I saw a old design, the US title, the previous design, just the previous one with the white title strap. I thought it looked really good. I thought it looked better, but I'm also very keen to the previous championship designs for those two, especially the Intercontinental Championship design, because that's one of my favorite titles of all time. But it's okay. Like I said, I think the Intercontinental Championship should go back to that old design or get a new one because I don't really like the way it looks anymore. I was kind of used to it, but I'm starting to not like it at all. So bring back the old design. Of course, the white strap wouldn't go to the men's anymore because the white strap is now a woman's thing, which is fine. Gotta change it somehow, and they look fine, so it's not like it's too different. But bring a women's intercontinental championship to Raw so we can have it on both sides, abolish the tag team titles for the women's, and it's going to be so much better. So many good storylines. Tag team matches can still happen. You can still have the groups with the tag team championships. They did it for a while and it worked. So you don't really need them anymore. A mid-card title would help them so much. Have the women's champion, sidekick, mid-card title, sidekick loses it, they're like, hey, I helped you with that championship. They can go after them. Other storylines can happen. It's just amazing what can happen and amazing what you can think about wrestling because wrestling is such a creative mind thing that you can think about anything and it's possible. So It's amazing that they had that mid card title added. I know I just went on for a while about it, but that's just what I want to talk about. That's what's going to happen. And then going off of that, continuing with SmackDown, you had the, like I said, original Bloodline reunited. Great to see. Love to see that. Sami Zayn, Jay, Jimmy, Roman, all with the ones up. The real Bloodline, the OG Bloodline, not the Timu, not the $5 store, not the Dollar General Bloodline. Great to see. You had one of the worst pile drivers, I think, happen to Randy Orton. It's not that it was like hurt him at all. It just did not look good by Kevin Owens. So it was safe. It just didn't look good. So Kevin gives a pile driver to Randy Orton. Randy Orton has a fake injury, I presume. So that it's just so bad. I feel bad for laughing at it because Kevin Owens, he didn't do terrible. He didn't. The main thing is that he didn't hurt Randy. So that's just the main thing. He hurt him kayfabe wise, I believe. Just give Randy a break and then help the storyline where Randy can come back and be like, you know what, Cody? Maybe Kevin Owens is right. Maybe you kind of went behind our backs. Maybe you shouldn't have teamed with Roman. Now I'm not happy about it. And then Randy turns on Cody and that match finally happens. I've been waiting for that match for so long now. Next, Motor City Machine Guns defeat A-Town Down Under. I have been getting a kick out of Motor City Machine Guns. They have been very brilliant so far in their time in WWE. Already tag team champions. Great to see from them. They really kind of gave a big reuniting to that side of the roster with tag teams because it was A-Town Down Under for the longest of time. And then you had the Timu Bloodline that had it, which they didn't do much with it, and it wasn't that fun. I mean, the ladder match they had was actually kind of good with Tonga Loa actually winning it. That I found hilarious, but it wasn't going many places. And DIY, honestly, about to probably turn heel, which would be amazing, or separate again for the bajillionth time, which is a whole nother storyline that's going to be good. Which SmackDown can go through these storylines because they're not switching over, so they can start them now. Which Raw, I think they're waiting on a few storylines to really switch it over. Then you have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. Of course, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair win. They've been on a winning streak. They can't lose, but they're just tag team champs, so they're not going to lose on a minor show, especially when the storyline between Nia and Tiffany, they're starting to become less connected. They're starting to be less besties or whatever they call themselves. And Tiffany Stratton will cash in soon, please, because Nia, honestly, she's been way better since her return. I have to give her props and credit. She's been way better. Honestly, on the mic, she hasn't been terrible. So honestly, great improvement by her. But Tiffy is the future of the WWE Women's Division, and it would be very nice to see her started now sooner than later, because the matches can be really good, and that would be a very good um, WrestleMania match. Or she can, because they can't wait, and I don't think they can wait till WrestleMania with it. They could, but I don't see that really happening. Pretty Deadly versus DIY. DIY beat Pretty Deadly, like I said. DIY is starting to fall apart or turn heel. Can't really determine which one it is yet. Tommaso was going to tag Johnny Gargano in, or Johnny Gargano wanted to tag in. Tommaso looked at him and said, nah, I'm just going to pin him myself. They won the match, and a little after Johnny walked, he kind of went in the ring to celebrate. He's a little confused, so that storyline has to develop. Like I said, that can be a very good storyline. It just has to wait and see where it goes. So SmackDown was pretty good. Raw was pretty good. NXT, the ECW show was nice. Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon there. Great stuff. Loved it. Ethan Page, he's been on TikTok killing it. They asked for like a 360 haircut video on his TikTok, I think. And they did like 360 like that way. So it wasn't around, it was on his face, just in a circle, which was hilarious to me. He's been killing it at the heel role. He is very good. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him come to the main roster sooner than later. Because Trick, honestly, he would be a good main roster guy out of the pack. I think he could be someone who could take a mid card title pretty quick because he's just so hot right now. The theme song, everything going on is just in perfect spots for him because Shawn is cooking down in NXT. Shawn Michaels is doing amazing. So NXT has not been disappointing recently. Their storylines have been great. Titles have been great. Everything's been pretty great. The people they're bringing in the women's division, I said it before, is amazing. They have so many competitors, so many good wrestlers down there. Jordan Grace, she's back at NXT for a bit. She just lost her title in Impact. So we'll see some more stuff in NXT maybe. But it's just, it's been very good. Like I said, the Bloodline is a story that has to keep going. If I'm making a guess for each side, it's going to be a 5v5. I think that it's going to be, of course, Roman, Sammy, Jay, Jimmy, and I want to say Seth, but I feel like Seth isn't going to happen. I don't want it to be Cody. I really don't want it. I think Cody should be on his own. Leave this bloodline stuff in the past. I know Sammy might be like, hey, Cody, can you help? But I feel like Cody should say, listen, dog. I said I was done with the bloodline after Roman. I got to be done. I got to be done with it. So he just leaves Sammy on scene, I guess, like Seth did. And on the other side, I really could see either someone who Roman screwed over or just The Rock. A lot of people have been saying The Rock, so I wouldn't mind seeing that too much. But The Rock versus Roman is also getting set up for later in the year. But a lot of those are speculation for now. You're gonna have to see who they add. Raw, SmackDown been cooking. You got to see if Seth joins. We'll see what happens from there. But thank you guys for watching this episode. Be ready for the episode at the end of the week on sports because I have a lot to talk about. The Steelers beating my Commanders, which there's a cornerback on the Commanders I'm going to go off on. It is not Emmanuel Forbes, believe it or not. So you don't got to worry about him if he's your favorite player, which I don't know if he will be. But if he is, don't worry. I don't think, whatever. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great week and bye. Subscribe.